So how's it going, bosses? Hope everyone's doing fantastic and having a fantastic start to autumn season or fall season, wherever you're from, whatever you call it. So I thought it would be fun to put together a list of 5 ageless fall winter scents. So I'm going to be back in just a second with my top 5. So welcome back, you're watching the Luxury Fragrance Boss channel. My name's Scott, of course I'm the Luxury Fragrance Boss. Thank you for joining me for another top 5. If you're new to the channel as well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also might as well hit that notification bell so that way you know anytime I'm releasing a new video, you'll be the first to know. So as I said in the intro, I thought it would be fun to put together a list of sort of 5 classic or 5 ageless fall winter scents. Now that we are into that season, I can't believe where the year's gone, and I can't believe that we're in fall and winter season already and talking about these kinds of fragrances. Obviously, I mean, I live in a temperature where it's the same pretty much all year round. It varies by maybe 10 degrees and not at the comfort end, unfortunately. It's very hot where I live here in the Cayman Islands in the Caribbean. So let's crack on with the top 5 then. Now, in number 5, I'm going to put one, probably the least known out of the 5 that I've picked. This one has become one of my favourites. It's a really it's a polarising fragrance. It's sort of a love it or hate it fragrance, really. When I went into it with sort of an open mind, really, when I ordered my sample of it. The one I'm talking about, of course, is Black Afgano from Nasomatto. I ordered a sample of this, must be 18 months ago, I think, because it's come up to a year since I've owned it. So yeah, I ordered a sample of this about 18 months ago. And after reading reviews, there were so many positive reviews, but there's a bunch of probably 50% positive, 50% negative. So it's a really polarising fragrance. So I didn't know what to expect. And there's no one that can really sort of describe how this one smells, other than to say it's sort of resinous. There's got some smoky woodiness in there. It's a really, really unique fragrance and it is a tough one to describe. Obviously I've got my review, I'll post, I've done reviews of all the ones I'm going to talk about, or individual reviews of all the ones I'm going to talk about, so I will post them in the link. I'll post the links for them below if you want to go and check them out. But I'm sure most of you have heard about these or know about these anyway. So yeah, Black Afgano from Nasomatto. I just absolutely fell in love with this one. One thing I do love about Nasomatto is even when I tried it out the sample, in fact I've still got my, is that it? No, I've still got my sample here somewhere. It's very easy to find because I've put it somewhere and I can't see it. So it's very easy to find because it's the only one that's got all black liquid in it pretty much. So yeah, I mean, I literally fell in love with it because like I say, one of the things I absolutely adore about Nasomatto is when I first dabbed it on, it just seems to get more and more powerful the way you go through the day, and it just keeps pulling you in and pulling you in. Obviously, soon after that, I went on to go and buy Baronda, and there's also a couple of others that I want to buy as well. But one thing at a time, I guess. I'm still working my way through my top 5 buy before I die fragrances. Obviously, I picked up Black Nail recently. So yeah, Black Afgano in number 5, absolutely a classic, definitely a must-have for me for fall season. So let's go into number 4 now. Number 4, another well-known fragrance from a very, very big house, Royal Oud from Creed. Now this is just a classy smelling fragrance. It's not overly oody. It's more of like a very sort of dark woody fragrance. It's got some sort of bergamot and some lemon in the top, and there's also some peppery notes as well. I think it's pink pepper in the top of this one. Going off memory, I've not got the notes listed in front of me because I do come back to these fragrances, and this is another one that I love to wear in the heat because of those citrus notes. You find it lifting, and it's one that can be worn sort of any time of year. But yeah, I really do enjoy this one. It's a very, very classy smelling fragrance. Obviously, it's at the higher end of the price points for Creed. For some reason, this one is sort of one of those ones. I remember the rest of them were sort of around sort of I'm going off duty-free pricing here. I think $350 or somewhere around $330, I think, but this one was like $425, so this one was quite a bit more expensive than the others. I don't know the price of this one in the States, but I know this one is a big favourite. Obviously it's a favourite of mine. I've used up half a bottle, but this is one that I've had probably 3 years now, I would say. So let's crack on to number 3. Now, number 3, I'm going to, obviously a very, very well-known fragrance for this time of year, very, very heavy hitter. One of my favourites, very, very smoky, and the very, very beautiful but sweet but smoky Amouage Interlude for Men. I'm still absolutely drawn to this fragrance. Whenever I pick it up, I just cannot get enough of it. This is the one I wore for my wedding day. Now, bearing in mind I've only had this one possibly 3 years, and I don't wear it that often anymore, but yeah, I've got nearly only half of it left. So, but this one, if you want to smell like a sexy sort of grill or a bonfire with some incense thrown on there, this is definitely one to go for. This is probably the strongest fragrance that I do own, I believe. I could be wrong, I could have something stronger, but this one, when I walk into my office, and everybody knows that I'm wearing this one. I've got some fans in the office of this one, and they always say how good it smells. But there's also some fans that find it a little bit overpowering. Our cleaner was one of those, in fact, but she's left the island for what we call rollover here, which is you can stay for 9 years, then you have to leave for a year, unless you apply for residency. So yeah, this one, if you're looking for something sort of really, really smoky, really sort of, really, really heavy, a massive sort of projection fragrance for winter, you want everyone to know that you're wearing it, even if you're outside. This is definitely the one to go for, hence why it's called the Blue Beast. Yeah, Interlude, absolute smasher. So at my number 2, I'm going to another well-known fragrance. I'm sure many of you will know this one, and I know it's a big favourite out there, especially for this time of year. I love to wear this one absolutely anytime. If you watched my top 5 easy reach fragrances, you would have seen that this one was in there. This is one that I don't even have to think about picking up. I do wear it quite often. This is one I actually wore in the last couple of days. It's got quite a few lovers. There's also some haters of it as well that say it smells like pickle juice. Of course, I'm talking about Santal 33. This is one of my most complimented fragrances as well. I absolutely love this. And as I said, some fall winter fragrances do perform better in the heat, I find. I've not yet worn this one in anywhere cold, so I don't normally tend to sort of gravitate towards any cold weather anywhere. I think the coldest I've been was in the last couple of years was when we were in San Francisco, and even that was in the summer, but it did get a little bit chilly there. So, but yeah, this one really does perform in the heat. I can't speak for it in the cold, but from what I've heard, it performs for absolutely any climate that you're in. As I said, some people say this smells like pickle juice. To me, this is just a beautiful blend of leather, sandalwood, and the papyrus. Like I say, I absolutely love this one. This one's an absolute top one to have in your collection for winter, as long as you don't find it smells like pickle juice, of course. So that brings me on to my number 1. I only wanted to make this a quick video, so I'm not going over full notes. I can list all them in below. Now, many of you won't be surprised to see this one at my number 1. Of course, I'm going to talk about Penhaligons Halfeti. This one is fantastic for absolutely any time of year. This one will always be in my collection because I absolutely love it. I think if I had to pick one fragrance that I could wear for the rest of my life, I think I'd be more than happy with Halfeti. It's such a versatile fragrance that you can wear for absolutely any time, but it's one of those fragrances that's got such a great blend of notes in it. I mean, it's quite hard to describe because you've got oud in there and you've got some citrusy notes in there. So I find in the hot weather, you pick out the citrusy notes, but in the cooler weather, you pick out the ouds and the woods and things like that. It's definitely quite a unique fragrance to me. And it's also an absolute beast mode fragrance as well. But this is one that, I mean, you all know how much I love this, and I've been told that I should be a Halfeti ambassador in the past because I do mention this one a lot. But this one, it's got every right to be there. So, in my opinion, I know there's a lot of fans of Halfeti out there as well. But yeah, I mean, let me know your top 5 in the comment section. Let me know your top 5 ageless or classic fall fragrances, as I'd love to hear. Besides that, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. You can find me at Luxury Fragrance Boss. That way you find my scent of the day, anything else that I'm sampling, whatever I'm up to, what you can see what's coming on the channel. So besides that, stay smelling fantastic. I look forward to seeing my next video. Thank you so much for watching.